What's up, y'all? In today's video, we're taking a deep dive into IGN's review of The Precinct, a new game that puts you in the shoes of a cop instead of the usual criminal role we see in GTA-style games. It's inspired by old school 1980s police shows, and we're going to break down what IGN had to say about it, how it plays, and whether it's worth your time. Make sure to stick around because I'll be sharing my own thoughts along the way, and I want to hear from you in the comments too. Let's get into it. IGN kicks things off with a cool piece of trivia. GTA was almost a cop game back in the day, but they ditched that idea, figured being a criminal was more exciting, and boom, GTA was born. Fast forward to now, The Precinct is like a what-if version of that idea, letting you play the good guy in a gritty 1980s style open world city called Averno. Now, the game's not huge. The main story takes about 12 hours to finish, and yeah, some of the missions can start to feel repetitive, but IGN praised the game's overall vibe. That retro, rain-soaked look, it nails the feeling of old police dramas. No phones, no social media, just you, your partner, and a crackly radio trying to clean up a crime-filled city. They describe The Precinct as more of a fantasy version of policing, not some deep dive into the real issues we face today. Think of it like playing out a classic cop show with the rookie, the grumpy old partner, and a mustache-wearing chief yelling in the background. But one thing IGN wasn't too hot on, the voice acting. They said the dialogue felt kind of cheesy, like something from a low-budget TV show that wouldn't win any Emmys. When it comes to gameplay, there's a good amount of variety at first. You'll be on foot catching vandals, cruising the streets looking for drunk drivers, or even flying above the city in a chopper, spotlighting suspects and calling for backup. That variety helps keep things interesting for a while. But even with all that, IGN admits it starts to feel a little samey by the end. Once you beat the main campaign, there are still random crimes happening, but the magic starts to fade if you stick around too long. Now let's talk cars. This is one of the highlights. Even though the game uses an overhead view, the car chases are exciting and feel weighty, more like Driver than GTA. There's a nice mix of 80s muscle cars and boxy cop cruisers, and the way the lights flash off the wet streets at night. IGN loved that. It adds a lot to the game's atmosphere. Another interesting part is how the game rewards you for following proper police procedures. That means you gotta ID suspects, search them, and arrest them by the book. If you start going rogue, like using force too early or skipping steps, you earn less XP, which slows down your progress. IGN liked that system, but said it can wear thin over time. There's not enough variation in how arrests play out, and the rules can be strict. One example, IGN said they were almost run over by a suspect, and when they fought back, the game punished them for using a gun. That kind of stuff can be frustrating. And yeah, the game isn't perfect. IGN mentioned a few bugs like floating objects and invisible walls, but nothing game-breaking. So what's the final verdict? IGN's Luke Riley gave The Precinct a 7 out of 10. He called it a good game with a cool take on the old GTA formula, just from the cop side this time. The visuals and atmosphere really shine, but the gameplay loop can get old, and the polish isn't all the way there. So now I want to hear from you. What do you think about The Precinct? Does the idea of being the good guy in a GTA-style world sound fun to you, or are you sticking with the usual chaos? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. I got more gaming reviews, reactions, and gameplay coming your way. Appreciate y'all for watching. Catch you in the next one.
Averno City is losing the war on crime. Entire neighborhoods are in the grip of gang violence. There are daily high-speed pursuits across the city. And this just in, another armed robbery is in progress.
Every single one of you took an oath to protect this city, its residents, and your fellow brothers in blue. That's what matters.
Follow that vehicle.
Car theft in progress at Litchfield.
We got a vehicle fire here. We're the ones out there making the hard choices, and those choices are what make us who we are.
Central, get the cell ready.
We got you, scumbag.
kid. You wanted the real deal? This is it.
Be advised, suspects are heavily armed. Approach with caution.
Looks like that perp has been taken into custody.
They're doing something at Warehouse 6. I'm going in.
Let's go, Rook. We don't got all day.
Units in pursuit. Stinger is deployed. Spike strip effective.
The department did everything we could to track down your father's killer.
Now we go live to a police helicopter in a pursuit operation. Cops are deploying everything at their disposal.
Your father would have been proud of what you did today, Cordell.
Stop there. I seen a lot of kids come out of the academy all fired up about truth and justice and the American way, only to end up either on the take or in a casket.